historian, I wanted to find fascinating ways of documenting the past, and that was through buildings. There are stories within their walls. I'm Dr. Karcheik Sims-Alvarado, the historian in heels.
And nobody's gonna stop this feeling. Ain't nothing gonna hold me down. Every day I'm one step further. My feet will never hit the ground. Run.
The reception for Gone with the Wind was actually held right here in this building. Many men he has beaten, playing pool right here in this space.
Run, to be and free.
We're at Saranata Farms in Madison, Georgia, a beautiful 70-acre estate owned by Bobby Robinson. Come join me as we see what renovations my good friend has made to this property. So, Bobby, who were the original owners of this estate?
Well, it kind of gets kind of vague. When you get back in the early 1800s, things get kind of, and they brought in, some of the owners that brought in historians along the way. But what we know for sure, the house was built sometime between 1845 to 1875, and it was simply 2 over 2 rooms. So you got the room here, which was the living room, you got the dining room, and then you had sleeping quarters above.
Oh, okay.
So around the turn of the century, around 1905 or something, there were 4 characters that bought the property, and they were the Fears family. They were two sisters, 2 brothers. None of them ever married. They had this pact, and they actually came out of a family of 9 children, and they all had made a pact to never get married. But if they did get married, the kid that got married had to give up their inheritance to the other remaining siblings. So that was the deal. So this was the last 4, and they made off with all the loot.
I love it. The Atlanta Daily World, founded by William A. Scott, became the nation's first black daily newspaper in 1932. We are here today to join Jean Kansas, who's going to tell us more about this historic building. What's going on?
The Daily World building was built in 1912, and it's had an extremely rich history.
I love it. I love it.
Step into the world.
Great, thank you. Now, I love how history meets technology. Can you show me how this app would work?
Absolutely. And with this app, you can see all those buildings as they were back when it was their peak, where things were really thriving here on Auburn Avenue before the end of segregation.
You know how in California, Sunset Ave is the street of Hollywood stars? Yeah. Well, here in Atlanta, Sunset Avenue is the street of civil rights legends. Just right above is where Maynard Jackson lived, Dr. King lived. Somebody's at the house today too. Someone's at the house. So what I'm trying to do is to find images of King or Mrs. Coretta Scott King in front of this location to make sure we are at the right place.
Oh, I got it.
You have it?
I have it.
Yes! We have it. So here we have the image of Mrs. King standing before this house. And are we in front of the tree? Oh, this is it. This is the exact location where she once stood. And looking up. Do I make a great Coretta?
Beautiful likeness.
Oh, thank you. And imagine if this building was no longer standing here. You wouldn't have any evidence that this is where Dr. King his wife and children once lived. And if you look around, there is absolutely no marker of the greatest civil rights leader that ever lived. Buildings are the physical representation of a people. But what does it mean when the achievement of a people are not worth fighting for? I'm an advocate for buildings. I'm Dr. Karcheik Sims-Alvarado, the historian healed.
And nobody's gonna stop this feeling. Ain't nothing gonna hold me down. Every day I'm one step further. My feet will never hit the ground. I'll run, 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 to be free.
Ain't nobody gonna stop this feeling. I'm on the ground for my children. That's why I stay building. One story at a time, till I skyscrape, till they recognize great, till my great grandkids graduate, and they ain't never seen the hood.